This is the Dexter Report. In-depth discussions and real conversations with true leaders making a mark in their community. Here's your host, Joe Dexter.
Hello and welcome to the Dexter Report, real conversations, true community leaders. I'm Joe Dexter of Dexter Media, helping you tell your story. And today, the story of neighborhood, the story of stepping up and being there for others, no matter what their circumstances and no matter what they believe or feel. Our guest today is Mary D. Martin of my hometown, Rockingham County, the town of Madison. We'll talk to her about volunteering. We'll talk to her as well about why it's important to set a tone and forget about lines in the sand when trying to complete things as community leaders and community members. See, this is the key part about being a community leader that Mary taught me while at the newspaper. Community leaders are community members. Community members are community leaders. There isn't a separation. There is no pedestal. There is not a place in which a leader stands above a member, because at the end of the day, we're all neighbors. And Mary will talk about that coming up in just a bit here on the Dexter Report. Real conversations, true community leaders. You can find out more by visiting joedextermedia.com, where I can help you tell your story, whether that's through live streams, whether that's through podcasting like this outlet, the Dexter Report, or whether that's through telling through the old adage of written word, which I love just as much as live streaming or podcasting. But I will tell you, as far as podcasting and live streaming, there's just some power in being able to tell the word of others through their own vocals and through their own vision and through the vision of a camera. It's a beautiful thing that I love so much, and I can help you out. Just visit joedextermedia.com or get in touch with me via email, josephdexter@gmail.com. Real conversations start with breaking barriers. When we're in our community aspects, whether we're a nonprofit, whether we're the mayor, whether we're a citizen that lives down the street from a person we've never met, the barrier breaking is so key in stepping forward and understanding everybody else, in understanding ourselves. We can better understand ourselves if we listen to our neighbor and are there for our neighbor. It's an old adage that goes back a long time. My parents are probably better understanding of it than I am. Their parents understood it even more because we relied on each other way more in the past than we do now in the future. The key is understanding we don't have to rely, but we should be there, and it does benefit us to be there for others. It does benefit us to learn and teach the benefit of helping others. It's embedded in our guest's blood, her DNA, her everyday being. And when I met her at the newspaper, I knew she was a little bit different. My previous career as a journalist at Rockingham, now here in Rockingham County, North Carolina. It's not about the volunteering, which she does greatly in our community. She is the volunteer of all volunteers. And neighborhood is not necessarily about being there to give your neighbor a cup of sugar like it used to be when you ran out. Amazon has replaced the neighborly aspect of sharing your shopping goods, I guess. But it doesn't change the relationship dichotomy that we should have with the neighbors in our lives. Societal changes and situations have discouraged going to our neighbor when we need help. They've kind of set up this need to be there for yourself, but not think about others. What can I get through today to better me and get through today? And unfortunately, the situation that we are in life with COVID-19 and some of the sad things going on in our country right now, we kind of forget. We don't grasp neighborhood. We don't grab on to the people that mean so much to us. We don't know how important neighborhood is because we don't value neighborhood. If you're one of those folks that is looking for a change in perspective or wish we were back to the way it used to be, I encourage you to be like my friend Mary D. Martin, who doesn't wait for people to tell her what is needed, who doesn't wait to voice what she believes will make things better for others. She's not afraid to get off the couch and help others, listen to others, and be there for others, and encourage others to help others. Without a doubt, we need more Mary D. Martins in this world. We've seen the transgressions going on in our country right now, and our country is made up of small communities. We have to break these divides and get to know each other. We can't fix problems if we don't know each other. We can't address situations if we've never met each other. It starts at the ground level. It starts in the community, and it starts with friends like Mary D. Martin. Once again, thank you for listening to the Dexter Report, real conversations with true community leaders. We now welcome in on the Dexter Report, real conversations with true community leaders. She's the 2019 Citizen of the Year for the City of Madison, and in my mind, she's the 2020, the 2021, the 2022 Citizen of the Year. She's my good friend, Mary D. Martin. Mary, how you doing?
I am doing great, and Joe, you are too kind to me.
I've always enjoyed what you do in the community and your vision for community. Let's start with just giving an overall basis on what things are important to you in the community and some of the things that you champion and some of the things that represent you as a community leader.
Well, the things that I'm passionate about in the community, first of all, are students. I love doing things with students. I love volunteering at the schools. I am a substitute teacher. I love that because that gives me an opportunity to connect with those students, just to kind of see where they are and to give them encouragement, because today our young people tend to think that everybody is against them. They don't think they can do anything right. They don't think nobody is pleased with them. They don't think they satisfy people. We have a lot of those students with that type of mentality. And I love being at the schools so that every day that I sub, my mission is to find me one student to encourage and let them know how great they are. And to let them know, even though you don't see it today, there's greatness within you, that you're a leader, that there's something within you that nobody else has, and it will not be completed unless you do it, because you are that chosen one for that mission. I love being in a position to do that. I love going out in the community, just doing things for the citizens in the community. I love being in situations where you get to laugh and share with all kinds of people and just have fun. Even though we're going through trying times and everybody's just so sad and everybody just seems so broken, we still have a lot to celebrate. And I choose to celebrate. I get up every day and I pray, God, send me where you want me to go today. And once I get there, I hope you will be pleased with what I do. That's my goal every day.
And that's the beauty, too, of what I find in you is not only is it about finding leadership. When everybody can be a leader, it's finding and letting them know that there is something inside of them that they can lead. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to be the guy, the CEO with the suit. You don't have to be anybody specific that's drawn out in society norms. You can be a leader as just a person living everyday life.
Exactly. And that's what I choose to be. And I'm glad that God chose me for that kind of thing. I love ringing the Salvation Army bell. I love being there, greeting people, explaining to them what we do and why we do it. I love that. And there is something about people, they want to help but they don't know what to do. They feel inadequate. I try to make people understand that you are worthy, that you are qualified. If you're willing to come, I'm willing to go with you. And once they get there and get that confidence, they wonder, why did it take me this long? And I try to reach out and seek those individuals that I know would be good at that, but just don't have that guidance. Come on, go with me. Come on, go with me. Well, I don't know if I can do what you don't need to do what I do. I'm the only one gonna do that. So don't even go anywhere thinking that you're gonna take my job. But what you're going to do is you're going to be the best you. And I think that's where people tend to get it kind of twisted. Well, I can't do so-and-so like so-and-so, or so-and-so does this better than I do. That's because that's not your calling. Your calling, you do better than anybody else can do it because you're the only one that can. So getting people with that mentality that don't compare yourself to somebody else. Don't compare yourself to how they do what they do. Don't compare yourself to how they talk. Don't compare yourself to any of those things because there's somebody waiting on you. They're waiting on you, the authentic you. They don't need Mary to show up in Joe's body. They need Joe to show up because there's something that Joe brings that Mary doesn't have. And I'll be the first one to admit, I am what I am. I know what I know, and I do what I do. Anything other than that, I know absolutely nothing about it, and don't try to conquer it because that's not my mission. We all have a goal and we all have a mission. And if we would just concentrate on that and stop being jealous of who does this, stop wishing that I was so-and-so, or stop wishing that they had asked me, stop wishing if I could do that. If we would stop wishing and start doing what God has called us to do, oh, this would be a wonderful place. I love it. I love just being out walking downtown, just waving at people. I just love that. I love just talking with individuals. I love that.
I could run through a brick wall now, Mary. Thank you for that. I love that. That's a key part of it. And another key is something that you do so well, in my opinion, is you're not afraid of being yourself. You're not afraid of what people think or what people say or what people do. I've noticed that over the years as a leader and as just an individual, it can be very scary to do what you do, like step up to a podium at a commissioners meeting, or it can be very scary to be out there in the community and organize a neighbor's event or anything that we do. It can be scary. The big key is believing in yourself and not just that vision that you are you and not anybody else, but also knowing and having maybe some energy given to you that it's not as scary as you think. And once you do it, you're going to see the power that you hold within yourself as well.
Yeah. Yes, I love that. I'm not afraid to fail.
That's key.
A lot of people are afraid to fail. I'm going to do it whether it works out or not. If it doesn't work out, I'm going to redo it. A lot of people have a plan A and a plan B. I have a plan A only. If plan A don't work the first time, I go back and I revamp plan A. That's my best plan. So I need to revamp my plan A. I'm not going on to a plan B. No, that wasn't my best plan. My best plan was plan A. Now let me see what I didn't do in plan A so that this can be successful. And like you said, I'm going to stand up for, first of all, for what's right, and especially for those things that I'm passionate about. And I'm comfortable with me, and I'm comfortable with who I am, and I'm comfortable with how I relate to people. And anybody that knows me knows that when you get Mary, you get the same Mary every time. I'm going to be respectful. I'm going to be responsive. I'm going to be diligent, dedicated, committed to what I do. Once I start, it's no stopping. And I'm not going to stop until it's done. And I'm not going to stop until it's done to the best of my ability. And along the way, I'm going to identify these people that are good at certain things. So you're the best person I know for this. Why don't you come and help with it? You think I can do it? No, I don't think you can. I know you can. I've seen how you do so and so, and I've seen how you do. This is for you. A funny thing that I want to share with you, I was organizing some people to help distribute toys at the Salvation Army. I called this one man's house because he had volunteered with the soul food program and all, and I had his name on my spreadsheet. I said, let me call this person. So I called and I said, well, good morning. I said, I'm just calling to remind you that you agreed that you would help at the distribution of the toys on so and so day. The gentleman that answered the phone said, well, you need you're thinking of my brother. Said, my name is so and so. I said, oh, so you're not Mr. Callan, you're not no, I'm not him. I said, well, he said, my name is David. I said, well, David, let me tell you what we're doing down at that Salvation Army. And I had called early. I said, I already know you're a morning person because you're already up and out and probably have had your breakfast. Yeah, I've done that. I said, well, look, this is what we're going to do. I said, I need somebody from 8:30 to 10:30. Now, your brother's already volunteered, and he's always helped me with anything I need. And I said, I was just wondering, and I know that's something that you would love to do. He said, well, yeah. I said, I'm available. I said, I knew you were. I said, so I'm going to put you down from 8:30 to 10:30 at the Salvation Army. And it's on Barnes Street. He said, I know where that is. I said, well, I'll see you there. He said, okay. That was it. So I'd never met the person before. So when I got there, I said, I've got to find him. So I found that individual and I thanked him for coming, and I told him how much fun we were going to have and all of this stuff. And I said, I am so glad that you agreed to come. He said, did I have a choice? I said, yes, you had a choice. He said, well, the way you talked about it, he said, I didn't want to miss it. I said, well, I am so glad. But for some reason, God has just given me that kind of ability and that kind of magnetism. And it's the way you approach people. People are very important. I don't care what your job is. That has nothing to do with anything. The most important thing is you are important and you are valuable. And I let Mr. Callan know he was valuable. I need you this day. And he was so gracious to show up, and I got to meet him, and just a very nice individual. And he's told me, well, if you ever need me again, just call me. I said, I sure will. So now I've gotten another friend in the first place. I've got a friend, and I've got a friend that's willing to step up to help when he is needed. That's what I love. I love developing friends. There's very seldom that I need something done that I can't call a friend. I'm not calling volunteers. I'm calling a friend. Friend, we've got this situation and you and I need to help.
That's quite interesting because as we have Mary D. Martin with us, a local volunteer and community leader here in Rockingham County on the Dexter Report. It's interesting because you say that's how we met. That's literally how we met, through the Bringing the Neighbor Back to the Neighborhood program that you started. You asked me to come out and cover it, and from that point on, and it wasn't like you said I needed to be there. You told me why it was great. When I got there, I found out how great it was, and that's just the key, I think, to community bridging and development, is actually listening and being there for others when somebody calls, and also taking it beyond the phone call, right?
Yes.
The reason that I'm willing to help Mary Martin is because Mary Martin is there to listen. She's there to help me, and she's there to help others. One question that I have, we mentioned it a little bit, these tumultuous times. It's unprecedented with COVID-19, with the situations going on in our country. How can we as a community better listen to each other and better help each other?
I think what we can do as a community and as just individuals, meet people where they are. Stop being so judgmental and just be there for a listening ear. A lot of people just need a shoulder to cry on. Be that individual. I know that now people are out of work. People are strapped for money. The bills are piling up. They're needing groceries. Some individuals that are very judgmental, well, they were working. They should have managed their money better. Maybe they should have. But that's not what they need to hear now. They need to hear, I'm here and I'm willing to help. I know of this agency. Why don't you go here? We need to be more compassionate empathetic towards people and where they are. I don't think we show enough of that. I think there's so much division going on among us because of the different statuses that it's causing a divide where we can't love each other. Or I can't communicate with her. No, she does this or she does that, and especially when it comes to party. And we're not going to get into politics, but I met a lady at the voting poll. That was a Republican, and she and I, we went there almost every day, and she and I, we talked and went on and whatnot, and she said, you know what, Mary, said, when this is over, said, let's you and I have lunch. She said, you like seafood? I said, I love it. She said, when this is over, you and I going to have lunch together because you're my friend. And I said, and you're my friend. So this lady and I, we will get together. We have totally different views, but that's okay. You respect me and I respect you. You're not right and I'm not wrong. We just have differences of opinion based on our precepts. And that's okay. But we can still come together as responsible, loving, caring human beings and just lift each other up and love on each other when it is needed. Forget all the other surrounding circumstances. Let's just look each other in the eye as one person to another. You need me and I need you. And just be there.
When there is a line in the sand and there is division, I look back, and we've talked about this before, at the whole neighborhood concept before compared to now. When you always have the door shut to your neighbor, you're never going to be able to listen. When you always have that line drawn in the sand and you have a firm belief, or if you have you just are the way that you are and you've decided that the door is always shut, you're never going to be opening it. The thing that is fearful to me is we live in a world that when somebody knocks on our door, we're afraid to answer. I mean, and even if that's virtually, if they email us, they knock on our door, they are there and they need some help, or they just want to talk. We have to have open ears at all times because everybody's life experience is different. And the moment you put that line in the sand and decide you're not crossing it is the moment that we can't gel together and do the best for the whole community, do the best for the whole world, in my opinion.
Yes, we put up that roadblock, and it doesn't matter how much you talk, I'm not going to hear it because I've got this roadblock. And that was one of my reasons for bringing the neighbor back to the neighborhood. I just started looking around just in my neighborhood. When I raised my children on this street, the way that we were and the way that we took care of each other, our children were well protected. We didn't worry about abductions. We didn't worry about abuse. We didn't worry about where they were, none of that. And my thing was, let's bring the neighbor back to the neighborhood. Let's bring those things that I did for your children and you did for my children. I look back on the days when kids, black and white, would come and play basketball in my backyard. On Christmas morning, we'd get up and everybody had a bicycle. We'd go and stand in our doors and watch the bicycle races, the big wheel races. And if you left home, and a difference too now is when I was rearing my children, they did not want to bring shame upon me. A lot of people do know that I'm a widow. So I've been a widow 38 years, rearing 3 sons. They did not want to bring shame upon me. So therefore, they respected the elder. And they did those things that they knew mama would be proud of. Now, we're missing some of that. And I'm not putting all the blame on the parents, which a lot does fall on their shoulders, but you're looking at our hours of work has changed. You're now working 12-hour shifts. Kids are now getting jobs earlier, all those things. And a lot of those values that I taught in my home, a lot of parents just don't deem that necessary. They're thinking you can Google it, or as long as you're sitting in your room with your friends and you're playing the games, everything's okay. But in my era, we verbally taught manners. We verbally taught yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir. We verbally taught open the door. Me being the only lady in my house, I taught my sons how to respect women. I was their guinea pig. This is what you do for ladies. Now, what stuck and what didn't, it's not my fault. You were exposed. And I don't care what happens when the kids are exposed, just like the word says, when you train up a child in the way it should go, it's not going to depart from it. You may do some little things along the way, but those core values remain with you all the time. And your children, and in our neighborhood, they've got to see somebody taking a stand. Got to see somebody that's going to be willing to, and a lot of times mine were upset with me. They would go in their room crying, and I would go in mine crying because I really didn't want to do it, but I knew that was the best thing for them as young men. So our neighbors made sure we knew those things that weren't pleasant and those things that weren't pleasing. So they would tell Mary, they did this, or mine did that, and I got on them for this. We shared those things without fear of repercussions. Now parents are fearful if they correct your children, what else have I got to endure? So we've lost that in our neighborhood. So I want to bringing the neighbor back to the neighborhood. Everybody come. We're all neighbors, everybody. And let's just learn of each other and let's have fun with each other. And through that first event, and I think maybe this would probably be about our fifth, I have made friends just from that event. And you're one of them. I never knew a Joe Dexter. I never knew a David Myers personally. The mayor of our city came to that event because he too wanted to help bring our town together. He's one of my, I never knew who he was. Now he's one of my dear friends. Our chief of police, Jason White, I didn't know he was chief of police for several years. He would come to my house and play basketball with my kids. So those kind of coming together things make you better. Bud Cardwell, we were having a thing downtown Madison, and I was telling them that I'm gonna get Bud Cardwell to come and sing at our Christmas thing. They said, "Oh no, that won't happen." I said, "Oh yes, it will happen." I called Bud Cardwell. I got David Myers, and I said, "Now we need to talk, but y'all need to take me to breakfast." So we're going to breakfast and we're talking. This is what I want us to do. They were in total agreement. When it's because people never make the effort to reach out. Reach out. Reach out. You'll see we all have the same goal. We're all headed in the same direction. And it is so much easier when I got you walking beside of me rather than you walking behind me, stabbing me in the back. Let's walk together. Now we have an awesome relationship. I was going through town one day last week, saw Bud Cartwell. Of course, I'm a waiver, and he's laughing. You know, there goes Mary. She's just, but that's just how I am, and everybody knows that. But again, like I said in the beginning, the Mary you see today is the Mary you're going to see next week, and the next week, and the next week. And I'm not intimidated. I guess I should be, but I'm not. I don't know where that comes from, but I was just thinking back to that You Got Grit segment that we did. I'm not intimidated by people. You know, we're just human beings. So why should I be intimidated? I'm not intimidated to stand before the county commissioners. I'm not intimidated by that.
Let me tell you why you're not intimidated. I can tell you why from the outside. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready for this. What is it?
You are comfortable in your own skin. And when you're comfortable in your own skin and you're willing to step up and do what you want to do and you think is right, then you don't have no fear. And that's the beauty of what Mary D. Martin brings to our community is you teach people through your volunteerism and through what you do in our community and the young people that if you're comfortable in your skin, you don't have to be afraid. there are there are external things in this world, right, that we should be a little bit fearful of, but you show them through their power and through their skin that they can do whatever they want to accomplish. And you feel that way. That's what you illuminate, that whether you're with me, whether you're with somebody in your family, or whether you're with a government official, and it translates to getting things done, and it translates to change in our community. That's why you're such an important community leader. I got to tell you that, Mary, because when we have people like you willing to be comfortable in their own skin and stepping up for what's right, and stepping up for, and when I say what's right, it's not even things that are controversial. It's just when you know something needs to be changed, you're willing to say something.
Yes. Yes. And say it in a manner to where people are willing to change. Okay, I never realized that. Well, yeah, this is the perception. So let's work on that. And a person's perception is their reality.
That's right.
So we work on those things. But I dearly love what I do. I love working with everybody. There are things that people do that they've never done just because I ask them. I don't know how many times the county commissioners have gone and helped serve lunches at an after-school program. I don't know how many times they've done that, but I got them to do that. This is the need that we have in our county. These people have voted you into these positions. I would like for them to see you in another light, see you there with the children, see you ringing the Salvation Army bell, see you doing helping distribute the toys at Christmas. I would like for them to see you in that light, especially our law enforcement officers. They get such a bad rap, and they do so many things. I was just thinking, just this week, Saturday was National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. And I was going to post it, I'm still going gathering photos, that these officers are more than what you see. We have officers here in Madison that come to our Easter egg hunt and play football with our children. We have those officers that come down to my church when we have a Road to Success program and speak to our children, that play games with our children. At one of the Bringing the Neighbor Back to the Neighborhood events, we had one of the officers that was coming down the slide with the kids. Sam Page, he was playing my grandson in cornhole. And I told him, I said, Sam, I said, now I don't want you to beat my grandson because he's 8 years old. He said, Mary, every man for himself. So just those kind of things. That's what Sam Page does. I would always have a Super Bowl party for my SOS students. Sam would come there and play games with the students. The Reedsville Police Department, we had a twist contest. Robert Haskell's men, they got out there, they entered the twist contest. I think it was a setup. I really did win, but it was stolen from me. So one of his officers won our twist contest. Those kind of things, those are the things that our officers do. I was my Order of the Eastern Star. We had this campaign where we were collecting boosts to give to cancer patients. Those officers, Madison, Mayan, Stoneville, Reedsville, Eden, they collected boosts to give to the patients in our county. Those are the things. And then when I would go there, they would help bring it to my car. When I would get to the location, they would help get it out of the car. Those are the things that our law enforcement officers are doing behind the scene that nobody really knows about. And I try to make sure that they see that. I want you to see somebody other than the person that turns the blue light on and you get angry because you were doing 55 in a 35. I want you to see that individual. So I try to shine the light on those things that go unseen and unsung and unmentioned, because those people do an awesome, awesome job. And I try to make sure that our neighborhood knows that. And I think it's my responsibility. Citizen of the Year has been just an awesome, awesome. I didn't even know they had that until I got it. Where'd this come from? Oh, we've been doing this. I didn't know nothing about it. But now it's me. I have dearly loved it. My goal was, and still is to be an individual of this town, a resident of this town of Madison, that will bring no shame to my town, that will be an upright, outstanding citizen that this town will be proud of when they see my name and that honor attached to it. I don't want to bring disgrace, first of all, to my name and definitely to my town, and no disgrace to those individuals that voted me as that individual. There was something that they saw, and I don't even know what it was, but something they saw. This is the lady that needs to be our Citizen of the Year. And ironically, it's so funny, that night when I got there, I was 2 or 3 minutes late for the meeting, and I wanted to get on to speaking, but of course they're taking up the paper and whatnot. But I was at McMichael High School. We had a catastrophe over there, and I was volunteered that day. And anyway, I stayed a little longer than I should have. And anyway, I was a few minutes late getting there. And I begged and begged and begged, can I please, please, please just tell y'all this? We need somebody to ring the Salvation Army bell, and I'm soliciting my alderman to please sign up. So they let me get up there and talk. Then they come with the award. And Mayor Myers, I never will forget, he said, Mary, this is why you're getting this award. You're out here trying to find ways to help our town. I said, that's all I know. That's all I know. Being a mother of three sons, somebody, and I don't even know who they are, somebody has prayed for me. Somebody has assisted my children. I don't know who they are, but I know as long as I can, I'm going to be the person that somebody can depend on when they need them. And if I don't do or can't do what you're asking, it's because I'm already obligated to do something else. That's the only thing that keeps me from doing anything that I'm asked to do. And that's because I have already made an obligation. And I love that.
She's Mary D. Martin of Madison. She works with the Beauty of Madison 383 Order of the Eastern Star, with the Salvation Army. She also works with the school system and so many other volunteer opportunities. She's always there to lend a helping hand. And you have taught me that, Mary, that it's important when you can to lend a helping hand. So I want to thank you before we head out of here on the Dexter Report for that message that you share, and also for just the positivity that you illuminate in our community. Thank you so much for doing that, and we look forward to seeing the beaming light from whether you're posting on Facebook or we see you out there in the community. So thank you for taking the time to stop by the Dexter Report.
Thank you so very much, my forever friend.
She's the Citizen of the Year. That's wonderful. That's fantastic. She's going to be the 2022 Citizen of the Year. 2023. That's my friend, though. That's the most important part to me, my friend Mary Martin. So thank you so much for stopping by. Have a great week, and take care, Mary.
Yes, sir. And you do the same.
Truly defining community leader, and always putting a smile on my face every time I get to talk to her. My friend Mary D. Martin joining us on the Dexter Report, real conversations with true community leaders. I hope you enjoyed this episode. We are going to be more and more consistent throughout the upcoming weeks and into this new year, and bring you an episode of the Dexter Report every single week for you to enjoy. I'm taking inspiration from my friend Mary and others out there that do not go through the motions. We're going to bring you an interesting, unique episode every single week for you to enjoy and get different perspectives in this beautiful community of ours here in Rockingham County, across the country, different aspects of how information is presented and how true community leaders are reaching their community. At the heart of leadership is the community itself. And as we exit here, a reminder that you are the heart of everything that is good. I'm Joe Dexter. This is the Dexter Report, real conversations, true community leaders. You can subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. And to learn how you can better tell your story, visit joedextermedia.com. I wish you all wellness. I wish you all happiness. And remember to be thankful for what we do have, for those close to us, for those we can spend time with, and for the technology that still brings us together. This is the Dexter Report. Take care, everyone.
Thanks for listening to the Dexter Report. To learn more about our community and how Dexter Media can assist telling your story, visit facebook.com/Dexter Media Solutions.